class. My name is Miguel, and today I'm going to talk about inflation. First, I'm going to give a little definition about inflation for you who don't know what inflation is. Inflation is the act that things to go up in price. For example, the bills. 20 years ago, you can pay your bills with this amount of money, but now the same bills you pay with this amount of money because of inflation. So what's the problem with inflation? Inflation has like three main causes. First is devaluation. Devaluation. Second one is things get worse financially talking long term because of inflation. Also, the main problem of inflation is the ignorance, because people don't know what inflation is or how they can handle the inflation. First, I'm going to talk about devaluation. Okay, so what's devaluation? Devaluation is the act of the currency, in this case the dollar, to go down in price. Why this happens? Is because there are printing more bills, so there are more bills circulating in the world at the time, so the value of each bill is less and less worth it. Okay, that happens in 1971. They stopped basing the money in gold. President Nixon changed it, and now it is an idea of the dollar. So that's why after 1971 they start devaluing the dollar. So what happened long term, financially talking? Why is this a problem, and why is this causing by inflation? I'm going to give you a brief example of this problem. Let's say right now you are a lawyer or you are a doctor and you're making $100,000 a year, right? For you to, the Social Security tell us to, okay, go work 40 years, and then when we are 65 we can retire, and they're going to give you 70% of what we're making, right? But if you want to buy the same things or paying the same bills that you're paying right now with $100,000, after 40 years, with 1.2 rate of inflation, you have to be making $148 to buy the same things that you're buying right now at $100,000, correct? So this inflation, so this $148,000 plus the devaluation of the dollar, plus the problems of the Social Security, and plus the ignorance of the people is hard. Is like a pretty hard thing to do nowadays to improve the income in this case. Okay. So the third and most important thing of the inflation is the ignorance. Why is that? Problems are not problems. Problems are situations that you have to control. In this case, inflation is not a big problem. Inflation is something that just happened, okay? The main problem is the ignorance of people, because people don't know how to handle it. And people may think that if you have your money in the bank, you're safe. But if you leave it over there, you're losing money. So my purpose today in this presentation is to encourage you to invest. Invest in what? There are a lot of things to invest, but pretty much what I encourage you today to invest is invest in yourself. Warren Buffett is the third richest person in the world. And a newspaper, in an interview, they asked him, Mr. Buffett, what is the best thing you have invested in your whole life? Your best investment? And Mr. Buffett, he answered like this. He said, well, the best investment I have done in my life, that I continue doing today, and I will do it until I die, is invest in myself. Why is this important? Because when you invest in yourself and you know how the money works, how the economy works, you can handle inflation. That is just a little bit problem of what the whole thing of economy is. So this concludes my presentation, and also this concluding the main problem problems of inflation are the devaluation of the dollar, the long-term problems, financially talking, and the ignorance. All the information that I'm giving to you, I take it out of this book called Why We Want You to Be Rich of Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki. If you want to know more about this, they talk about how the economy, what is happening in today's world, why inflation is a problem, and a lot of more important details things. Okay, so this concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, I'm glad to answer them.